we go on then, dear friends, to part 44, continuing chapter 16 of the book of Revelation. The third pole.
Yeah.
Now the rivers and fountains of waters became blood. I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, for they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink. In other words, to read it more modern English, you are righteous, O Lord, for they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink. A pretty grimy thought, isn't it, drinking human blood? For they are worthy. In other words, they deserve what they get. This is what the Catholic Jerusalem Bible says. The rivers and water springs turned into blood. Then I heard an angel of water say, You are just, you are the just one, and this is a just punishment. They spilt the blood of the saints and the prophets, and blood is what you have given them to drink. It is what they deserve. Now, we already came across the land of rivers and fountains of waters, and I just got to show this poster again.
Beautiful. Can you put it up?
To remind ourselves.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
The land of rivers and fountains of waters.
Yeah.
Mainly
Can you bring it down just a tiny bit so we can see the land of rivers and fountains of water, and then if you take it up so we can see the map. Lovely. Perfect.
Switzerland.
Thank
you. Italy here, the Alps, northern Italy, Switzerland, the tremendous number of lakes. Here it doesn't show all of them, but there's Lake Maggiore, Lake Como, Lake Garda, very big lakes in northern Italy. Then
Could you lift that up, because I can't, thank you, Neil.
This is again the area of Switzerland, Lake Geneva, Italy, the Alps, and here, down here, you have the three great rivers.
Lovely. That's lovely, thank you.
You've got the Danube, the Rhine. Danube.
No, it's okay, I've changed the camera, don't worry now.
You've got the Danube, the Rhine, the Rhone, there they are.
Beautiful.
So this is the land of rivers. Sorry. Sorry about that.
It'll take a minute, that's all. Yeah, don't worry.
So
what I like about our sessions is they're very human.
They're very, yes, we are.
And that's great, isn't it?
Yes, we don't wish to present any glitzy presentation of this. We are presenting it as humans.
Yeah, we're just mere mortals.
And we have no mod cons, high tech.
No, we don't.
We're just presenting it what we believe to be the truth.
Yes, exactly.
So now, points to note, this is continuing the campaign of Napoleon. The rivers and water springs refer to the area of Europe which has an unusually large number of rivers and lakes. Of course, it isn't the immediate area, because big rivers don't flow in the same spot exactly. It's a cover of wide area of the Alps, Switzerland, and northern Italy especially. That area is the region of the Alps, northern Italy. The first pole is a general introduction to Napoleon's campaign.
Yes.
While this third pole goes on to give details of his first campaign. The concise Atlas of World History on page 90 and 91 gives the battles of the Italian campaign. There were 9 battles in all. They were all in northern Italy, and all took place in 1 year, 1796. It seems amazing in the days before the train, when the only way to travel for an army was on foot, that Napoleon actually managed to fight 9 battles in 1 year.
God.
It was practically a battle every month.
Yeah.
The battles were Mondovi, Dago, Genoa, Lonato, Castellino, Arcole, Bassano, Montenotti, Lodi. These battles were mostly against armies of Savoy and Austria, and Napoleon won every single one of them. An angel said, O Lord, you are Lord of the just one, and this is a just punishment. They spilt the blood of the saints and the prophets, and blood is what you have given them to drink. So this then is what they deserve. The Catholic Jerusalem Bible says that. So the war in northern Italy was God taking revenge for the killing of the saints and prophets in the area of the Alps sometime before. Being called saints and prophets means that they were the true Christians. I don't think there's any real doubt about that.
No.
Jesus is the one who knows the true Christians, and clearly that is in his book. That's how he looked at them. But who were they? They were the Waldenses. The Waldenses. Confrontation is the name of a book which was written by Ellen G. White. It was published in 1978 by the Stanborough Press, Alma Park, Grantham, Lincolnshire, England. On pages 65 to 67 we read, the Waldenses were among the first of the peoples of Europe to obtain a translation of the Holy Scriptures. Hundreds of years before the Reformation, they possessed the Bible in their own native tongue. They have the truth unadulterated. They declared the Church of Rome to be the apostate Babylon of the Apocalypse, and at the peril of their lives, they stood up to resist Rome's corruption. The mountains that girded their lowly valleys were a constant reminder of God's creative power. Their churches, in their purity and simplicity, resembled the church of the days of the apostles. Rejecting the supremacy of the Pope and Prelate, they held the Bible as the only supreme infallible authority. Rome determined to blot them from the earth. Now began the most terrible crusade against God's people in their mountain homes. Again and again were their fertile lands laid waste, their dwellings and their chapels swept away. Their grand offence was that they would not worship God according to the will of the Pope. Atlas of Christian History was written by Tim Dowley. We've already come across Tim. I described him as my neighbour here in East Dulwich.
Oh, yeah.
And page 82 we read, Peter Valdez, a rich merchant from Lyon, France, sold all that he possessed, translated the New Testament into French and began preaching. His followers became known as Waldenses. They criticised church authority, which soon led to their condemnation as heretics. Nevertheless, the movement grew, and by the close of the 13th century it had spread through much of Europe. Peter Valdez died about the year 1205. In 1209, Pope Innocent III launched a savage 20-year crusade against both the Waldenses and the Albigenses. Now, John Milton, we've already seen a celebrated figure, Sir Isaac Newton, one of the great scientists, not just of England but of the world. And we come now to a great poet, John Milton, who would, I would say, be almost up there in the rank of William Shakespeare as one of England's greatest poets. He was one of England's greatest poets, as I say. He was born in 1608 and died in 1674. He wrote a poem with the title On the Late Massacre in Piedmont. It is all about the massacre of the Waldenses. Here it is. Avenge, O Lord, thy slaughtered saints whose bones lie scattered on the Alpine mountains cold, even they who kept the truth so pure of old, when all our fathers worshipped stocks and stones. We just look at that for it. That's some admission from a proud Englishman.
It is.
Because he was saying, first of all, he seemed to look on the Waldenses as the true church, and he was saying his forefathers here in England worshipped stocks and stones. In other words, they were basically pagan. But the pagans that he's talking about were Roman Catholics before the Reformation. It's pretty horrific.
It is.
Slaughtered saints whose bones lie scattered on the Alpine mountains cold, even they who kept truth so pure of old, when all our fathers worshipped stocks and stones. Forget not, in thy book record their groans, who were thy sheep, and in their ancient folds, slain by the bloody Piedmontese, that was Piedmont, which is in the northern tip of Italy and somewhat actually covering part of France at the time, that rolled mother and infant down the rocks. Their moans, the wails redoubled to the hills, and they to heaven. Their marked the blood and ashes sow over all the Italian fields, where still doth sway the triple tyrant, that from these may grow 100-fold, who having learned thy way, early may fly the Babylonian woe. So
it's beautiful, Neil. That's so beautiful.
Well, it's a beautiful poem, and it's so moving as well. Wikipedia says the poem was inspired by the Easter massacre of the Waldenses in Piedmont by the troops of Charles Emmanuel II, the Duke of Savoy. In April 1655, Piedmont is a region of Italy bordering France and Switzerland. On the 24th of April 1655, there was an order given. It is said that the Catholic forces went beyond reason in attacking the Waldenses. The estimated number of people killed was around 2,000, and another 2,000 were forcibly converted to the Catholic faith. They spilt the blood of the saints and the prophets, and blood is what you have given them to drink. It is what they deserve. These are the words of the third bowl, and these words tell us that God is taking revenge for the lives of the Waldenses. He is taking revenge at the hands of Napoleon's soldiers. The 9 battles which Napoleon fought in northern Italy in 1796 were caused by God himself, that's no doubt about that, to punish the people of that area for the persecution of the Waldenses. Much of the persecution had happened more than 150 years before, and this shows that God never forgets. Now here you may think, dear viewers, this is not justice. I mean, how could God punish a people who didn't even exist when the massacre took place? Nevertheless, it shows the way God looks on things, and God does hold even succeeding generations in some way responsible, especially perhaps if they hadn't distanced themselves from what happened, if they hadn't taken no steps to remedy the situation, if they still held the mark of the beast and worshipped this image. But as I say, from a human point of view, it would not seem justice, but the divine mind has a knowledge and understanding that we have not.
No.
And we must accept that it was in some way revenge for the blood of the saints on the Alpine slopes. Now the fourth angel poured out his bowl upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Men were scorched with great heat. The Catholic Jerusalem Bible says the fourth angel emptied his bowl over the sun, and it was made to scorch people with flames. Points to note, we are here directed to the sun, which means the strongest empire at that time, and it was the Holy Roman Empire, the beast of the earth. Constantine brought the sun to an end in his time. That sun was the pagan Roman Empire. Odetiel the Goth brought the sun to an end 164 years later in 476, when he brought the empire itself to an end and deposed the last emperor in Rome. Now under the fourth bowl was another sun about to come to an end. Was the Holy Roman Empire about to end? It was.
Wow.
The sun was made to scorch people with its flames. This refers to the suffering caused by the war. The Holy Roman Empire would be at the centre of this war. Austria had by now come to represent the Holy Roman Empire. The emperor was Francis II. He was part of the Habsburg dynasty. He ruled from the Hofburg Palace in Vienna. For much of its history, Aachen in Germany was the capital. We've seen that it was also called Aix-la-Chapelle. The 3 decisive battles sealed the fate of the Holy Roman Empire. The Battle of Marlingo. This was fought on the 14th of June 1800 between the French and Austrian armies. It was fought near the city of Alexandria in Piedmont. Italy. The result was a decisive French victory over the Austrian forces commanded by Michael von Malus. The Battle of Ulm, the date was the 15th to the 20th of October 1805. It took place in Ulm in Bavaria, which of course is in Germany. Napoleon trapped an entire Austrian army and forced its surrender. The Austrian commander was Karl Freiherr Mack von Liebrig. The Battle of Austerlitz. It was fought on the 2nd of December 1805. Austerlitz was in what is now the Czech Republic. It is also known as the Battle of the Three Emperors. It was between France and a combined army of Austrians and Russians under the nominal command of General M.I. Kutuzov. It is widely regarded as Napoleon's greatest victory. That was in 1805. 68,000 troops defeated almost 90,000 Austrians and Russians. The battle is often cited as a tactical masterpiece in the same league as other historic engagements like Cannae and Gaugamela. It led to the Treaty of Pressburg, which was signed on the 27th of December 1805 between Napoleon and Francis II, the Holy Roman Emperor. Shortly after the signing of the treaty, Francis abdicated the title of Holy Roman Emperor because he had no choice. That was in 1806. After the many defeats by the French army, he had little choice. That brought the Holy Roman Empire to an end.
And there we will go on to the next session. Okay. Thank you, Neil.
Right.